Hi, I'm Annapolis Mayor Josh Cohen with your monthly video update for January 2012. And in this update, I want to talk about three topics: the Compromise Street garage proposal as it relates particularly to the Newman Street playground behind Annapolis Elementary School. Second topic is streamlining city government and the permit process in particular. And the third topic is the circulator trolley. First topic, Compromise Street garage proposal. This has been in the news a lot lately. And before I get into this, I want to state at the outset that no garage proposal is going to move forward without ensuring that there will continue to be a robust community playground behind Annapolis Elementary School, first and foremost. Now, before I get into the details, I want to back up a little bit and put this into context, and it starts with City Dock revitalization. On the other side of Ego Alley from Compromise Street and the Newman Street playground is the prime real estate in all of Annapolis, and it's used for surface parking. There are hundreds of parking spaces, and the joke is that people drive downtown to beautiful downtown Annapolis and they park their cars right at City Dock, and then they leave and go off to the stores and other things, and the cars sit at City Dock and have the best view of the water all day while people are doing other things. And we need to change that paradigm, particularly if we want downtown to be more than a world-class tourist attraction, if we want to reclaim it as a real community gathering place for locals. Now, politically, if we're going to talk about eliminating some of the surface parking on that side of City Dock, 100 spaces, 150 spaces, politically, the only way that discussion can happen is if there's an alternative location for those parking spaces in the vicinity, because parking is obviously critical to merchants, and the merchants are a key part of this discussion. The only other space large enough downtown are these two parcels behind Annapolis Elementary School, the one that the city owns at the intersection of Newman Street and Compromise Street that includes the Newman Street playground, and then next to that is the surface parking lot that the Board of Education owns behind Annapolis Elementary School. Starting this summer, Annapolis Elementary School is going to be shut down for 2 years as the Board of Ed embarks on this 2-year beautiful revitalization project. During that time, the students are going to be educated at Annapolis Middle School. So these next 2 years literally present a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something on those two parcels behind the school. And the concept that the City Council unanimously endorsed and that the city administration is in discussions with the Board of Ed about right now is to create new street-level activity along Compromise Street, sidewalk cafes, neighborhood-appropriate retail with either apartments or condos or office above, a nice pedestrian-scale, mixed-use activity center along Compromise Street with structured parking in the rear. It needs to be done tastefully, it needs to be done sensitively in terms of height and bulk and historic compatibility and many other considerations. And again, like I said at the top, I can state unequivocally that no plan is going to move forward without ensuring that if the current Newman Street playground has to be eliminated, that it will be relocated or rebuilt, probably even closer to the school itself. Now, I know some parents, myself included, love the existing playground. And I would just caution people that the playground, which is already 10 years old, at some point in the next 5-10 years is probably going to need to be rebuilt anyway. And I would caution our town from being so wedded to that exact playground in that exact location that we shut the door on really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that may not come around again for 50 years to address this parking issue downtown and make real progress. So right now, as I said, the discussions between the city and the Board of Ed are still in the conceptual stages. If and when this moves forward, I can assure people that there's going to be a group of community stakeholders put together to guide the planning and design for the garage and the playground. That group will certainly include a representative from the Annapolis Elementary PTA, certainly from the historic community, Annapolis Summer Garden Theater, and the many other stakeholders who are going to be affected. That's a brief update about this project. I write extensively about it on my blog, mayorcohen.com. and that post also includes a lot of links to a lot of planning documents and other information that people might find of interest. So, new topic, streamlining city government. There's an ordinance that I've introduced, Ordinance 31-11, which the City Council has been reviewing for a couple months now. And the purpose of that ordinance is to streamline our permit process by eliminating one of the public hearings that planned developments and special exceptions have to go through. By way of example, right now, if you want to open a wine bar in downtown Annapolis, before you can open your doors, you need to go through 4 different public hearings before 4 separate bodies: the Planning Commission, the Board of Appeals, the Historic Preservation Commission, and the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. And if we're looking at how we can make Annapolis more user-friendly, whether you're a business owner or a resident here, one of the things we need to focus on is look at this public hearing process and try to balance preserving the integrity of the review process and the need for public input with making it more user-friendly and streamlined and having more predictability to it. So right now, for planned developments and special exceptions, the applicant has to present pretty much the same information at 2 hearings that are largely duplicative. And so the purpose of this ordinance would be for planned developments, they would go only to the Planning Commission. For special exceptions, they would go only to the Board of Appeals. That's the gist of it. The City Council's Rules Committee has already met twice on it. The City Council recently substituted a revised version of the ordinance that implements a lot of amendments recommended by the Planning Commission and the Economic Development Corporation and others. And all of this is leading up to a new public hearing at the City Council meeting on February 13th. So the revised ordinance is on the city website at annapolis.gov. I encourage people, if you want to weigh in on this, especially if you want to look at some of the revisions, go to annapolis.gov, download the ordinance, and if you have input, the public hearing is going to be on February 13th. Finally, the third topic is the circulator trolley. At the start of this month, I announced that the circulator trolley is going to be free indefinitely. The circulator trolley has been in a pilot mode for the past 6 months. We kicked it off in July of last year, and its purpose is to improve mobility downtown. And the way we intend to fund it is by getting better usage of our existing parking garages downtown. Because even though there's a widespread perception that there's a parking problem downtown, the reality is there may be limited parking right on Main Street or right on Dock Street or right on Maryland Avenue, but we have hundreds of underutilized spaces downtown in our garages. So the city has a role to play by making it easier for people to park in these garages, particularly the Knighton Garage and Park Place Garage, which are a little farther out West Street. So what we've done is we've made parking at both Knighton and Park Place very affordable at just $5 a day, all day. And if you park in any of the garages, or even if you don't park in any of the garages, the circulator trolley, which has this gong that is becoming a familiar sound, where the drivers are dressed in kind of traditional professional bus driver attire, is becoming a part of the new culture downtown. So to find out more about the circulator, you can go to annapolis.gov and click on circulator. You can pick up these lovely route cards at any one of the 4 major hotels along the route, at the Conference and Visitors Bureau, at City Hall, and at many businesses downtown as well. So those are the 3 updates. The Compromise Street Garage proposal is still in concept stage, but I can say without question that there will continue to be a robust community playground behind Annapolis Elementary School. The revisions to Ordinance 31-11, the streamlining ordinance, are going to come back for a public hearing at the City Council on February 13th, and the circulator trolley is now free. As always, you can reach me in the mayor's office at 410-263-7997. You can send an email to mayor@annapolis.gov, and you can visit my blog, mayorcohen.com, and leave a comment. Thank you for watching.